My dad told me to earn my food by babysitting his new kids. My dad shoved a chore chart across the table so hard the cereal spilled, pointed at the line that said babysit 12-7 p.m. and said, "If you're living here, you earn your food." His new wife nodded like she was approving a performance review. I was 16. I'd been there less than a week. Before I could process, his two toddlers, her kids, not his, ran through the room covered in applesauce, screaming like fire alarms. She didn't move. Dad didn't move. They both looked at me. Dad said, "Well, go clean them." I laughed because I genuinely thought it was a joke. "I'm not your nanny." He slammed his hand on the table. "You want a roof? You want meals? Then contribute." Here's the fast explanation. Mom was in the hospital for surgery complications, and I needed somewhere temporary to stay. Dad said, of course, my home is always open. Apparently open like a job listing. I told him, "I'm not your built-in childcare." His wife crossed her arms. "We pay a lot for groceries, you know." Groceries I hadn't eaten. These people acted like I was inhaling gold-plated steaks. I got up to leave the table. Dad snapped, "Sit back down." "No," I said. And that was enough for him to explode. "If you're going to have that attitude, you can go back to your mother's. I'm not feeding a disrespectful teenager." My chest dropped. "She's literally in the hospital." His wife mumbled, "Not my fault she's irresponsible." Something in me cracked so sharply I swear everyone in the room heard it. I said, "Okay, let's go over some things." I grabbed the chore chart and read aloud. Babysit 12 to 7. Cook dinner for everyone. Laundry for the whole house. Light cleaning, which included bathrooms. This was a job, an unpaid one. I held it up. "I'm not doing this," Dad said. "Then you're choosing to starve." He walked to the fridge and, no exaggeration, put a padlock on it. A silver, actual padlock, like I was a raccoon that needed containment. I said, "You're insane." He said, "Actions have consequences." The toddlers started crying because the applesauce on their faces was drying like cement. His wife glared at me. "See what you caused?" I grabbed my bag. "Nope, bye." Dad moved to block the front door. "You don't get to walk out after disrespecting me." But here's the thing. I already had a plan forming. I didn't know exactly what I was going to do yet, but survival mode is a fast architect. I said, "Move." He didn't. So I yelled, loud enough for the neighbors to hear, "You're locking food away from a minor." His wife gasped. "Why would you say that?" "Because you did that." He stepped back fast, face draining, like he'd suddenly remembered there were laws. I walked out. I didn't have anywhere to go except the hospital where Mom was. She looked tiny in that bed, pale, tubes everywhere. But when I said, "I can't stay with Dad," she squeezed my hand. "Call Aunt Marla." Aunt Marla is 5 feet tall, 60 years old, and could destroy a grown man with just her eyebrows. She picked me up within 20 minutes. I told her everything in the car. Her fingers tightened on the steering wheel. "He made you babysit his girlfriend's children?" "Yes." "And locked food?" "Yes." "And told you to earn your meals like a farmhand?" "Pretty much." She exhaled through her nose like a dragon awakening. "All right." We drove straight back to his house. She didn't even park properly, just swung the car in like she was serving a warrant. Dad opened the door looking smug until he saw her. Then he shrank. She walked in without being invited. "You're done," he stuttered. "Done with what?" "Using your daughter as free labor." His wife tried to step in. "She needs discipline." "Discipline?" My aunt snapped. "She's not your maid, she's not your built-in nanny, and she's not your food-dependent servant. She's a child recovering from a family medical emergency." Dad tried a new tactic. "She's exaggerating." I pulled out my phone and showed her the pictures I took earlier. Literal photos of the chore chart, the padlock, and the toddlers covered in applesauce. I had receipts. My aunt looked at him. "I'm calling CPS." Dad's face went paper white. No, that won't be necessary." "Oh, it is," she said. But she didn't actually call. She just let the threat sit in the air like a sword. "Sign the guardianship form." "What form?" he asked. She handed it to him. "Temporary guardianship while her mother recovers. You're incapable of basic care." He hesitated. So she added, "Or I can call CPS and let them decide if locking food and forcing child labor is good parenting." He signed so fast the pen squeaked. We left with my stuff. A week later, he sent a text. "You could have handled things better." I replied, "So could you." Then I blocked him. But here's the best part. 2 days ago, his wife texted me out of nowhere. "Can you still babysit sometimes?" I didn't even reply. I just sent her a picture of the padlock she thought I'd forgotten.